The Clippers, Paul George exited the game early after an apparent right leg injury. PG's right leg landed awkwardly while going up for a rebound late in the fourth against the Thunder. He immediately crumpled to the floor, stayed there for several minutes before needing help to walk to the locker room. So looking big picture at the standings now, guys, the Western Conference gets tighter and tighter. Clippers currently sit at the 5 seed, however, just 2.5 games ahead of the Jazz for the 10 spot and 3 games ahead of the 11 seed Lakers. JJ, how far could the Clippers fall if Paul George is out for some time?
Well, let me just say one thing real quick. This is a very unfortunate injury at a very unfortunate time because I had the Clippers along with the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns, when healthy, as the Tier 1 Western Conference contenders. I thought this team, particularly with the way Kawhi has been playing, the amount of minutes that he's been playing, this looked like a team that could make a deep playoff run. Now, without knowing the extent of this injury, the reality is he's probably going to be out at least a few weeks. It looked like a hyperextension at best. If that happens, he's missing the rest of the regular season. And if you look at the standings right now, they've got 35 losses, and you've got 2 teams, the Lakers and the Pelicans, sitting at 11 and 12 with 37 losses. The reality is the Clippers could fall out of the play-in. That's how far they could fall. You look at their remaining schedule. They've still got another game against Oklahoma City, who they lost to last night. They've got 2 games against the Pelicans, who are sitting in that 12 spot. They've got 2 games at Memphis, who's trying to lock up the 2 seed. And they've got another game against the Lakers, who are trying to get into the play-in game. The only game they have left on their schedule against a team that's really not going to be playing for anything is the second to last game against Portland. So every single night, this team is going to be tested. And it's not just Paul George's injury. Norman Powell, who's their 3rd leading scorer this season, he's been out since March 2nd with a shoulder injury. The team announced Sunday he'd be reevaluated. They'd update his injury on Sunday. He's been out as well. This team, for all the talk about depth, all of a sudden, they look pretty thin, and I'm scared that they are headed for a season which they don't participate at all in the postseason.
I am with them 100%. I think JJ's very hard. Listen, this Western Conference is crazy to begin with because everybody's got something wrong with them. Who knows on Memphis? Denver hasn't played well recently. The Lakers, we all know they've struggled here. You know, Oklahoma City's too young. I mean, Phoenix, Durant's not playing. So there's a lot of issues for all these teams. But without Paul George, they're going to make the playoffs in some capacity. They're playing at least in a play-in. I think we all agree with that. But for them to sit there and win a play-in, then go sit there and go play a 1 or a 2 seed, win that series, win another series, that's asking too much. You can't be that much in the depths. So I'll let you be the expert and tell me if they can get through a round without George. But without him for an extended period of time, they are not going to win the Western Conference. That's all there is to it.
That's fair.
You know what? I appreciate, the eloquence, of J.J. Redick and Mad Dog Russo. It's very, very touching, I must say. Can we get to the point? The season is over for the Los Angeles Clippers if they don't have Paul George. It's that simple. They're not going anywhere. It's that simple. There's no way on earth that you're looking at this squad. And I've got, listen, Kawhi Leonard is a star, even though Lou Dort did put him on lockdown in those last few seconds last night. I mean, have we watched Oklahoma City? Has anybody watched them? We didn't expect them. We projected them to go into the. Yes, you did. Of course you did, JJ. I mean, it's what you do. The old man and the 3. This is what we do. We understand. But the point is, at the end of the day, here's the bottom line. The season comes down to Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Any expectations we had for this team was predicated on the successful play of those 2 individuals. And we all know what they can do when healthy. The issue with them has been purely about health and consistency and continuity, being on the court together for a slew of games. We know what they're capable of. For Paul George to be gone, for Kawhi Leonard's health to consistently be questionable, to the point that every time we see him play, even though we marvel at his greatness because he is great, the bottom line is we end every game and go, whoo, he survived, he's playing, that's great. Because we all expect Kawhi Leonard to be hurt. We don't rely on his health either. So when you look at the Los Angeles Clippers, although they're no scrubs, and although they've got guys that can play, the Norman Powells of the world, the Terrence Manns of the world, who can play. I even like Zubac, to be quite honest with you. Of course, Morris is on the squad as well. We look at this team, and their success is predicated on the health and availability of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George together. Without one of them, they're a respectable team that's going home early. It is that simple. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that.
I want to note one thing real quick. You know, as we look at these last stretch of games for the Clippers, the Clippers are 6-11 this season without Paul George. Even when Kawhi plays, they don't have a great record. I have a question actually for both of you guys, because we've talked about this crazy Western Conference for the last probably 2 months. You know, the teams 4 through 13 have sort of been bunched together within a couple games of each other. You guys have covered the NBA a lot longer than I've been a part of the NBA. Have you ever remembered a season in which a conference had so many question marks about health, availability? Andrew Wiggins with Golden State. I in my 20 years now being involved with the NBA or paying really close attention to the NBA, I don't remember it. And I'm wondering if you guys remember a season where when we're talking about the playoffs and predictions, it's really hard to decipher what's what given all the question marks around injuries.
Well, I think the interesting thing is, Jay, sorry, Steve. First off, Steve makes it sound like he's telling you and I something that we know that they can't win a championship without the both of them.
Well,
Steve,
I'm just saying,
Steve,
state
we know
the
that,
obvious.
Steve, okay?
I'm just saying you didn't say it.
That wasn't the question.
You, I don't know.
You get me mad. But the interesting thing about the NBA in the West, look at all the teams that when healthy, you would think of great teams, yet they're 4 or 5 games over 500 right now because of guys being banged up. Phoenix is 5 games over. They got Durant, Booker, and Paul. You just mentioned the Clippers. The Warriors are the defending champ. They're a game over 500. The records with the talent and all the Hall of Famers in that conference with the teams is you would think there'd be about 5 teams who have 50 wins. It's the strangest thing in the world. But again, back to you sitting there in LA. You think that J.J. Redick, leave me out of it. You think that J.J. Redick doesn't know that the Clippers can't win an NBA championship if George doesn't play? That wasn't the don't change the question to make yourself look better. That wasn't the idea.
First of all, it's first take, baby. I do what I do. That's number one. Number two, Men in Black. I like the look. I don't know whether it's Men in Black or Top Gun, then I'm going to go with you, J.J. Redick. I like the look, though. I like the look. You're getting there. Now, here's the deal, doggy. The point that I'm trying to make is, to be quite honest with you, I got serious questions as to whether or not the Clippers will make it to the first round, to be quite honest with you, without Paul George. I got serious questions about that because in the end, when you look at their dependency on the 2 players, we understand they've got other parts around them. Their dependency, which is why it's great that JJ brought up the fact that they're 6-11 without Paul George, because the reality is that you're looking at them, Paul George with Kawhi Leonard. When one of them is missing, all right, and in this case it's Paul George, it just seems like all their hopes just plummet. You would like to believe that one of them could hold down the fort to get you beyond the play-in, to get you to the first round, even beyond the first round. But I don't look at this Clippers team as being that kind of team that could pull that off, to be direct.
And neither of you answered my question, but thank you. I appreciate that. Doggy kind of did. Stephen A., you didn't answer my question.
No. I agree with you. No, what I'm saying, I haven't seen that.
I'm just wondering.
I haven't seen that injury-wise.
Legitimate question. You've covered the NBA for, I don't know, 52 years now? It's been a long time.
That's doggy. Me 30. But the point is that when you look at, I've seen it before a bit haphazard as it pertains to, okay, who's going to pull this off? Who's going to win? But never because of so many injuries. Never because of just the unavailability, the potential unavailability of folks. I've never seen this before, ever. And it makes me wonder, JJ, it makes me wonder in fairness, because I want you to address it because obviously you just recently retired. It makes me question. There is a difference between getting ready and staying ready. And it does make me wonder a lot of times, not with Paul George, because that could happen to anybody, but it does make me wonder what guys are doing in the off season to keep themselves ready for the gruel and the grind of an NBA season. Because the injuries this year, I'm just saying, good Lord have mercy. What the hell is going on? In the age of technology, with all of this money available in terms of, technology, the treatment available to you, et cetera, are you really, really getting ready? Or are you staying ready?
Yeah, Stephen A., I have that question for you because summertime, bathing suit weather right around the corner. Are you getting ready or are you staying ready?
Oh no. I'm guilty of getting ready. I mean, I stay ready when it
I'm
comes
just
to
messing with you.
I stay ready when it comes to television,
I'm
but in
teasing.
everything else,
Of course you do.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.